A lot of mysterious things happen every day around the world. What you're about to witness next is something that has unnerved scientists and has left everyone confused and panicked. Recently, videos of animals behaving erratically have surfaced on the internet from different locations, but no one knows what all these restless animals are trying to tell. From animals moving in circles for days without eating and drinking water, to animals heading toward land, to excessive beaching of marine creatures, something very strange is happening to animals all across the globe. Is this an infection or a psychological problem? Or is it something bigger, something scarier than this? Maybe an unfolding prophecy or signs of end of times coming true. Join us today as we navigate through the strange behavior of millions of animals and what they are trying to tell us and what is going to happen next. Many videos in China have surfaced on social media showing animals moving toward high land. From worms crawling towards the high ground to birds circling around the buildings, and strange shifts in the unusual behavior of animals are said to be linked to some natural disaster likely to occur, like a destructive earthquake. China lies right in the region where the Eurasian, Pacific and Indian Ocean plates meet, and because of it, China suffers from frequent earthquakes due to active tectonic movements, with some of the scariest earthquakes recorded over the years. It is said that animals like cows, sheep and dogs all become more active just before seismic events, apparently in response to the impending tremors seemingly reacting, in part, to one another. Animals can predict events before they happen. Strange animal behavior just before a major earthquake was first recorded around 373 BC in Greece. Several days prior to the devastating earthquake, it was claimed that rats, weasels, snakes and centipedes fled their homes and headed for safety. Something similar happened in China back in 1975. In the weeks leading up to the February 4, 1975 earthquake that hit the Chinese city of Haiqing with a magnitude of 7.3, dozens of snakes slithered out of their hibernation dens despite the freezing conditions. The actions of the reptiles, coupled with other warning signs, contributed to the decision to evacuate the city hours before the major earthquake hit the city. Dogs barking continuously, cows stopping milk production, and toads jumping out of ponds are just some examples of animals exhibiting odd behavior right before earthquakes that humans have reported for ages. The recent change in the behavior of animals and their moving towards high land means something big is about to hit the country and something is needed to be done. According to recent statistics, seismic activity is increasing both on the ocean floor and on land, and earthquakes are emerging even in regions where they have never been before. The Bible mentions earthquakes in a prophecy that Jesus gave. According to Luke 21:11, there will be great earthquakes, and in one place after another, food shortages and pestilences. These events collectively mark the conclusion of the system of things, or the last days, in human history, according to Matthew 24:3, 2 Timothy 3:1. Biblical prophecy places the beginning of the final days in 1914 and has yet to conclude, but it has been accelerating over the years, meaning that the end is nearer than we think. Not only this, in Rome, hundreds of dead birds filled the streets on New Year's Eve after falling from the sky in 2011, and it was like the birds didn't have control of their bodies and were being controlled by an invisible force. As you can see in the footage recorded by Diego Fenechia, the lifeless birds were scattered across the roads near Rome's main train station, as he calls the situation embarrassing and sad. While the most common explanation given by people was purely scientific, as they said the incident was an aftermath of fireworks for New Year, and that the birds may have died after suffering from heart attacks or crashing into windows and electricity cables due to the frightening noise of firecrackers. But is this really the case? Something similar happened in Mexico, where hundreds of birds mysteriously crashed to the ground dead, and a residential street in Cuauhtémoc City was suddenly blanketed in dead birds as they dropped from the sky mid-flight. In this case, also it seemed like the birds had no control of themselves and were being pushed down to their deaths in fear. While there is a perfectly reasonable explanation behind incidents where birds fell out of the sky, there can be other possible theories, maybe some leading to apocalyptic events for this. In the Bible, there are several references to birds. Many of them are general references, such as the book of Genesis, where they are mentioned in the creation story. But birds are said to represent something meaningful, and the behavior has some significant meaning. Generally, birds are linked with truthfulness, love, good health, good luck, wealth, and fertility. But dead birds, like the ones that have been falling out of the sky in the past years, symbolize God's concern, meaning that he's trying to warn his people about something bad that is about to happen. Dead birds mean that the future holds something dangerous and unpredictable, and that the human race should be ready to face what is about to come. Recently, several videos have gone viral showing animals of various kinds behaving in what can only be described as bizarre ways. Groups of horses, ants, and even orcas are being seen going around in perfect circles for several days without apparent reason. An extraordinary video of a herd of reindeer in Russia moving together like a swirling cyclone has taken the internet by storm. The herd of reindeer can be seen moving in a tight circle, producing a cyclonic effect as their defense strategy. Photographer Lev Fedyasev flew a drone over the Arctic Circle in Russia's Kola Peninsula and was able to capture this stunning footage. The video was initially posted on the Facebook page of Peter the Great Museum of Anthropology and Ethnography in St. Petersburg, Russia. Usually, when hunting danger looms, herds of reindeer come together to form a cyclone. They circle so rapidly that it is difficult for the hunters to keep their attention on a single target. The reindeer disperse after the hunters become sufficiently confused and possibly dizzy. But it is unclear what threat they perceived in this video and what made them act like this. What threat did the herd detect that was not visible to anyone else? No one knows, but it is surely alarming. Along with the reindeer cyclone, a video of hundreds of sheep moving in circles for 12 days straight has also gone viral. The People's Daily, China shared a disturbing video on Twitter in which hundreds of the creatures can be seen marching in place on a farm in the outlying Inner Mongolia region of the country. Similar behaviour has been observed in horses, fish, orcas and ants, and this cannot be surely a coincidence. In Chile, thousands of fish mysteriously washed up on shore on Hong Kong Beach in Chile's south-central Biobío region, which left the scientists baffled because, along with thousands of fish, other marine creatures, including crabs, were also washed up. In recent years, there has also been a rapid increase in the beaching of marine animals like whales and dolphins. The beaching of a single, live animal is usually the result of sickness or injury. Bad weather, old age, navigation errors, and hunting too close to shore contribute to beachings. But recently, mass beaching has been observed, like Florida's Reddington Beach experienced a mass beaching of short-finned pilot whales in July 2019. Sadly, nearly 200 whales perished off the coast of Tasmania. Similar mass beachings were observed in Australia, California, New Zealand, and other parts of the world. All the things that have been happening with the animals have a solid explanation given by the scientists, because there is no God for them. Hence, they try to devise a rational explanation of every event. But what if there is more to the story no one is focusing on? And what if we are all ignoring the signals of God? The last time animals behaved erratically was during Noah's time, as told in the Bible. According to the Bible, God told Noah to take on the ark 2 of every kind of animal and 7 pairs of clean animals and flying creatures. And then, the ark started to fill with animals with pairs of male and female animals, which would have surely made people of that time question about animals moving together in a very peculiar manner, just like we are questioning the strange shift in animals' behaviour today. It was definitely an act of God, and no one could have been able to control the animals and move them in a very orderly manner in the divine ark. Almost immediately after the animals boarded the ark, there was a global deluge, and everything was destroyed. According to Genesis 7:11-12. In the 600th year of Noah's life, on the 17th day of the 2nd month, on that day all the springs of the great deep burst forth, and the floodgates of the heavens were opened. And the rain fell on the earth 40 days and 40 nights. The flood lasted for more than 150 days, and the waves were so huge that they wiped out every single living thing and drowned the mountains. The world never witnessed the destruction of this scale again, not even the strange behaviour of animals until now. People are skeptical and finding answers in science and are even trying to deny that nothing is happening. But in reality, something is happening, and it can be seen in the ways different animals are acting, as if they are trying to tell us something huge, something significant. In Act 2:19, God says, "I will show wonders in the heavens above, and signs on the earth below, blood and fire, and billows of smoke. The sun will be turned to darkness, and the moon to blood, before the coming of the great and glorious day of the Lord." And in Luke 21:25-28, it is said, "There will be signs in the sun, moon, and stars. On the earth, nations will be in anguish and perplexity at the roaring and tossing of the sea. People will faint from terror, apprehension of what is coming on the world, for the heavenly bodies will be shaken. At that time, they will see the Son of Man coming in a cloud, with power and great glory. When these things begin to take place, stand up and lift up your heads, because your redemption is drawing near." While science may not have answers to these mysteries, the Bible surely hints at what will happen before the Son of Man returns, like there will be signs in the heaven and the earth, and strange things will happen, like animals moving mysteriously, and then the day of redemption will be near. Animals moving in circles, heading towards high land, and showing bizarre behavior may not seem like something very significant, but all of this happening is connected to something bigger, something scientists are trying to avoid, but everything means something, and so does this. No one knows for sure what's coming. Maybe the apocalypse is going to happen. Maybe everything is pointing towards the wrath of God. Or maybe the end times. Or maybe the shift in animals' behavior is due to human behavior and pollution, and any other scientific explanation is better to be ready for whatever is about to come, because no one knows what the future holds.